It is so historic to be actually traveling to Haryana today because today is also the day when we are observing the Nirjala Ekadashi. That is the day. Nirjala is without water, viewers, and it's Nirjal. And today, as we walk through Haryana, we are fortunate that out of the 24 Ekadashis that are celebrated in India, this is the most sacred. He presents us today, Rajveer Deswalji. He is a cop. He's been a cop for 35 odd years. He was a journalist before that. And can you imagine that he's actually got more than 20 books to his credit on poetry? So much can be in a person. He's going to be talking to us a little on the background of our making sure that our country and we all remain healthy in times to come. Rajveerji, all yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Rupinder Barar, and good morning to all the viewers. Welcome to the land of Haryana. Welcome to the Jat land. We are otherwise poked at and poked fun at for being robust, rugged, and not very courteous people. And in our persona, we ooze out something which is strength and power and whatnot. But still, we have a heart to tell you the stories of the land. Why did we become so rebellious in our temperament? I need to clear it out at the outset. We have always bore the brunt of the foreign invaders in Haryana. They all plundered through the lands of Punjab and Haryana and attempted and tried to reach Delhi. The invaders from passes like Darra, Khyber, etc. They hopped the Himalayas, and then they crossed over to the western side of Jamuna, and then they marched towards Delhi through Kurukshetra, Pipli, Panipat, Karnal, and Panipat was the battleground. In fact, it was the war gate of Delhi, and three famous battles were fought in Panipat. So we developed a tendency not to really go by the dictats of the rulers that they were in Delhi historically, which were opposed to the common collective psyche of the populace around. And the other route was from Hisar Firoza, from where the invaders came. That route had Rohtak, Bhiwani, Hisar, Anrur, and the invaders. They plundered those areas as well. So it is definitely some kind of an explanation as to why did we grow so belligerent in our nature. We are definitely tribal in our understanding because we report cases like honor killing and parda system and female feticide. Definitely caste weighs with us. Caste, whether it is politics or it is social interpersonal behavior. But then, despite all this sort of negative connotations about our people or about ourselves, we have so many good things around. Under every brick of Haryana, you can find either history or mythology. And we have had, people who have been mass leaders like Chaudhry Chotu Ram, Rao Tula Ram, Pandit Neki Ram, and the redoubtable Chaudhry Devilal, with whom the sobriquet of Tau, a very positive address, somebody who is addressed as with reverence, who is better respected than one's own father. So this is our background of the slightly negative side of our, collective psyche and persona. Please move on to the next slide. To tell you about the geographical division of Haryana, it is divided into two parts linguistically. One is a Deswali belt, the other one is a Bagdi belt. Deswali includes Rohtak, Panipat, Jind, Karnal, Yamunanagar, Ambala. But the Bagdi belt includes Bhiwani, Hisar, Sirsa, and other places. This is basically on dialect. And there is a division of based on the soil. Khadar, Nardak, Bagad, and Bangar. The soil content or the water content in the soil, it is based on. Then there is Ahirwal, where the Ahirs, they dominate the larger population, and they have contributed a lot for the Indian army. And beyond that is Mewat. Mewat is mostly Muslim chunk. And crossing over to Hodal and Faridabad, we have Brij Pradesh, which is very sweet and not only in their dialect, but this dialect has been taken, addressed by and used by thinkers and poets in the past. We have had sports persons, we have had sports girls, we have had actors like starting from Kapil Dev, Sakshi Malik, Sandeep Singh, who is a minister now, Sushil Kumar, and the strongman, muscle man, pugilist, boxer Virendra. And now we have started, even making inroads in Bollywood. Earlier it was dominated by Punjabis, and the Haryanvis too have found, of course, it's slightly on the comical side because our dialect is being made use of in Bollywood. But with the advent of, say, actors like Anup Rathar, he was the first. Before him, it was Jagat Jakar, but then Anup Lathar came, and then came the likes of Meghna Malik and Malika Sherawat and Randeep Huda, Arvinder Malik, and not to be left behind, the latest Jaideep Ahlawat. He's acting in a serial now, and yes, our own Yashpal Sharma. When you come to Haryana, you cannot stay, disconnected with Haryana's humor, which is earthy and kind of a humor. Wit is always intellect in somebody's part, but humor emanates from situations, and these situations in the Haryanvi context are very unsparing kind of. Like for example, if I have to tell you very light jokes, very one or two liners, it is like this: that if you ask a Haryanvi as to what is the time, and he might quip, "Kyun doob ke marna hai kya?" Well, are you going to drown yourself in a well? If you tell somebody that I want to go to this village, and he might say, "When have I stopped you? मैंने कब रोका है? जाओ." And if you tell somebody that does this road lead to a hospital, तो वो कहेगा कि कल तक तो जाती थी, आज जाती हो पता नहीं मुझे. Or there was a barat in a village, and a very hefty, bulky man was to pass through a lane where a old woman, was spinning the wheel. On the spinning wheel, and this man asked, "Budiya, kya main is gali se nikal jaunga?" And the Budiya quips, saying that last year one elephant had crossed over, but I don't know what about you. So on this very happy note, on this humorous depiction of the Haryanvi side, I hand over to my friend Dr. Mahasingh Punia. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll come for a wrap up in the end. It's aloo, tikuti, teotia, etc. So these are all delicacies which every month specific they are, and every month according to the lunar calendar you are supposed to be eating these, not only eating and consuming these delicacies, but they are scientifically, it is believed that they are most recommended for you. Thank you, Dr. Ashish. Thank you very much. I do not know, after such a delicious description of delicacies, would I be able to sustain the interest that you have created amongst the viewers. Thank you very much. Well, Dr. Daya talked about Murthal Dhaba, and close to Murthal, close to the national capital, is the city of Sonipat, known for its cycle industry. But then in the epics, in Mahabharata, we refer to 5 villages having been asked by Pandavas from the Kurus, which they denied. And all those 5 villages were including Delhi, which was Indraprasth, or close to Delhi was Tilprasth. And in UP, another Prasth was Vyagraprasth, which was known as Bagpat. And coming parallelly to Bagpat was Banprasth, which is known as Panipat. And Sonprasth was Sonipat. So Sonipat was one of the 5 villages that were claimed by the Pandavas, which were denied to them, and hence the battle or war of Mahabharata. Sonipat is unique in its obtainment of popular culture being prevalent and tolerance, religious tolerance. There is a place called Mamu Bhanja, and it's a Muslim structure, and in this structure, every year on the day of the Urs, until and unless the Brahman from Khedi Brahmana offers a chadar here, and then only the Urs starts, such is the religious, tolerance with one another. And there is one more structure close to Jatwada. It is about 6-7 kilometers away from Sonipat, and this structure belongs to 14th, 15th century. 15th century, I'm sorry. This is Khwaja Khizr's tomb or Maqbara. Ibrahim Lodi had got it constructed, and this was a saint, Sufi saint, who was revered equally at the hands of Hindus and Muslims. From Sonipat, we'll move on to the historical city of Panipat, which is also nowadays known for its handloom industry and all that stuff. But before partition, Panipat and Karnal, they had Muslim population, and there was a decent mix-up of Hindus and Muslims. Bu Ali Shah Kalandar is the local deity, local Sufi, who was worshipped and on whose urs annually there is a Qawwali competition also held here. Khwaja Ahmad Abbas belongs to Panipat, and the famous legendary poet of Urdu, Khwaja Altaf Hussain Hali, came from Panipat only, and who in the year 1874 was instrumental in beginning the tradition of mushairas in Lahore, etc. Now, from Panipat, which is a historical city, you can see some of the structures here, which are Babar's, Ibrahim Lodi's grave, and from here we'll move on to this. This is a picture which shows a slight hill in the background. It is Kalyana Ka Pahad. And this Kalyana used to be a market of perfumes long back. It was during the times of Akbar that this was a place dotted on a route which came from Arabia, and these perfumes, itra as they called them, itras, they were marketed here. It was a full-blown market once upon a time. And the other picture that you see here is that of Yaksh and Aditi. They were said to be the ancestors of who else? Lord Rama himself. This idol is carbon dated and found to be 10,000 years old. This idol comes from the village Amin, which is about 10 kilometers south of Kurukshetra, and there is a huge mound still existing, and they believe that the fort or the Qila that Abhimanyu was to break in is still existing here in pure flesh and blood, and it has walls to the width of about, say, 70 feet or something like that. Now this idol was smuggled out of India and was taken to United Kingdom, whereupon recently with the interference of House of Lords, this was restored back, and this has been seated in the village itself, and it costs, it's a very costly idol which was rated to be crores and crores of rupees value. From here we will move on to Pehwa, which was in earlier times known as Prachi. It was a historical, not only historical place, but it was a mythological place where the Pandavas, when they were all done with the wars, etc., they offered Pinddan, as is the ritual amongst the Hindus. Pinddan for offerings to be made for one's ancestors. As you can see in one of the pictures, there is a ghat visible, and this ghat is still there, existing. In fact, these are 5 ghats, and they are on the bank of river Saraswati, which is now extinct about 5,000 to 7,000 years back, and it's been confirmed by remote sensing that Saraswati emerged from Pilkhan tree in Himalayas at Adri Bradri, a place in Yamunanagar, and flowed through Sanehit Sarovar and all those sarovars in Kurukshetra, flowed up to Prachi Prathudak, and further flowed up to Sirsa with a loop on to Haridwar, where it met with Jamuna and Ganga and made Triveni. So there is a Triveni Ghat also in Haridwar and Rishikesh. Now there is yet another story. There is a Kartikeyan temple here when Lord when Ganesh and Karthikeyan were asked us to go around the entire world, Ganesha took a parikrama of his parents and said that this was his world. Whereas Karthikeyan, his brother, he reached up to the Sanghal Dweep, and whereupon he was told by Narad that Ganesh has already won the game. So he was outraged and he tore off his hair, and he was quite in anger. So he returned and he made a curse to the entire women. सभी औरतों को उसने कर्ज दिया, और यही कारण है कि आज के दिन कार्तिकेयन का एक ही टेम्पल कुरुक्षेत्र में पेहवा में है, and where they offer sindoor to. Unfortunately, women are not allowed in this temple, and his temperament is a bit attempted to be cooled with offer of sindoor, etc. From here we move on to Hisar. Hisar-e-Firoza was founded by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, who was brother of Muhammad Tughlaq. Muhammad Tughlaq, he committed a mistake of shifting capitals from Delhi to Daultabad, etc., etc. But Firoz Tughlaq was a much sensible person who invaded so many places, and he exceeded things, areas to his own kingdom. Well, Hisar had 4 gates, including Mori Gate and Talaki Gate, and close to the Hisar fort was one Gujri Mahal, as they call it. Now, the legend has it that Gujri was some Gujri woman, a tribal woman, who the king fell in love with, and for whom this Gujri Mahal was erected. But no, records of 1912, the then collector of Hisar, deputy collector of Hisar, had written to the chief inspector of archives based in Agra then. I say it because I have referred to those archaeological records available. And the deputy collector says that in those times there used to be 2 artificial lakes close to the fort, and there was an arched bridge leading onto this platform. And water used to flow through these arches, which was Guzar Mahal, and there the royal or the king used to take rest in the evening. And close by Hisar has also been known to be a place of people who were revolutionaries and who rose against the British. Hasi again is close to, it's about 16 kilometers away from Hisar. And Hasi, this picture that you see in black and white, is about 100 years old. It shows the Barsi Gate. The picture down below is Skinner's estate. In fact, James Skinner was a French general who fought against the Britishers and created his own empire, small little empire. Again, he was an adventurer. The other gate that you see here in the picture, this picture is that of James Skinner. There is an army regiment in the name of James Skinner, Skinner's horse they call it. And the picture that you see of a fort, this is the fort of Prithviraj Chauhan. Later on, when he was defeated by Gauri and all those, so Anangpal, his successor, was there for some time. Well, Hasi has a road which is called as Lal Sadak, and there were revolutionaries or rebels from villages like Rohnath and Mangali who were crushed under a road roller there, and that road is still called Lal Sadak. Hasi was one of the towns besides Meerut and Ambala which rose in a revolt during the 1857 War of Independence. Coming to Karnal is again a historical town. The picture that you see in between the two pictures is tucked. It's a cemetery of the Britishers. 1858 had Karnal, cholera broke out. At that time, it was a cantonment, and it had structures like the Sadar Bazaar, Lal Kurti, Civil Line, and Ghantaghar. These are typical of all the cantonments. There is a church there, and there is a masjid which is seen in this picture. And another picture is that of Victoria Memorial, which was erected in on the Queen's visit, whoever visited Karnal or India. Close to Karnal is a place called Pakka Pul, which is a place of reverence for Hindus and Muslims both, where Pakka Pul Pir is the deity who is worshipped. Next slide, please. Well, Indri is very close to Karnal, and Indri is the locale of some folklores and folk tales, including songs like Jani Chor and Nihal De Mehkde. In fact, Nihal De Mehkde and Jani Chor, they have another town mentioned as Kelagad, which was probably Karnal. Now, this girl is of about 14 years and she belongs to a tribe called Magas. Magas are about 10,000 in number and residing in Indri, and they are said to be descendants from the Magdha Pradesh, and Magdha Pradesh is the present day Patna. You would recall that during the time of Alexander's invasion, Seleucus Nicator had come along with 3,000 Grecian women. Now these Grecian women, they married the Indian soldiers and bore their own progeny with them. Now these Grecian, Indo-Grecian people, these people, they have long noses, luscious lips and broad forehead, blue eyes, and no woman or man is less than 6 to 7 feet in height. There are typical features, physiognomy features of men and women. This structure is not Mughal structure, but this is interestingly a Grecian structure. Can we move on to the next slide, please? I have to wind up because the time is short. Safido is another town which takes its name from Sarp Daman. Abhimanyu's grandson Parikshit had his son bitten by a snake, and the curse would befall on the entire species of the snakes, and they would come to Safido, Sarp Daman, for Sarp Daman, where big cauldrons boiling with boiling oil were there, and the snakes would drown themselves. And when the entire species was just about to be annihilated, then Lord or Nagadevata himself appeared before the gods for them to be spared. That's how the legend has it. Close to this village, Safido is religious places, pilgrimages, so to say. Hart or Harigad is another pilgrimage, and Anta, my own village, Aruntirth, it was known as. They have found pottery and coins from these places, and Safido was the last tehsil of Jind or Sangrur district. Now we come to the winding part of the presentation, and before we end all this discussion about the culture, cuisine and interesting places and all that, we would like you to visit places. I just saw somebody popping up a message now that he wants to have a motorcycle tour of the state of Haryana. Well, what we suggest besides farm tourism of Haryana, which has about 17 farms approved for that, we would like you to, if you are stationed in the national capital of Delhi, we would like you to start for a 7 days tour of Haryana, starting from Delhi, weaving via Sonipat, Panipat, and staying in Karnal. We have in every district we have Haryana tourism motels and resorts in every district, so you will not have any problem staying there. From Karnal, you can plan another 2 days program or 3 days program, visiting Kathal, Pewa, Prithudak, Prachi, and 1 full day you would require for Kurukshetra, because there are so many museums, etc. And then coming via Adra Badri and going through Ambala, which is the place from where scientific equipment is manufactured. You can reach up to Pinjore Gardens and stay there, because there is a tourist complex available there, and the historical Pinjore Gardens are there. Pinjore Garden to Sirsa, it's only about 4 hours just not early on, and from Sirsa you can have another 2 to 3 days tour of district Sirsa, coming to Fatehbad, where there is a obelisk of victory, Lat जिसे बोलते हैं. Come to Rakhi Gadi, which is on the corner of district Jeev and corner of Hisar. Rakhi Gadi, a place of excavation where pre-Harappan things are available. Then you can come to Hisar, visit all these places, and then Hasi. Then another 2 to 3 days you can stay in Rohtak. go to Jhajjar, see the Gurukuls and other farm tourism places. And from Rohtak is a culturally educational city, educational hub of Haryana. Many universities, many, even a film and television institute is there. From Rohtak, you can come to the Millennium City for satisfying your urge to see some kind of urban tourism. We have, a plethora of malls and eateries and corporate offices and international business houses in Gurgaon. You can weave your way from Mewat, go up to Firozpur Jirka, where there is a Shiv temple, and come to Braj Pradesh and say goodbye to us for your next visit. We welcome you to the state of Haryana. I thank both my co-panelists, presenters, Dr. Ashish Dahiya, and I especially thank Mrs. Brar for having us today in this webinar. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much, Rajiv ji. Thank you so much, Mahasik ji and Ashish. I think it's been a great journey to us. And were you expecting so many delights from your Haryana?